am Buff and I'm the stuff, but everybody needs to listen. I am Buff Bagwell telling you to watch out for TNT, the Monday Night Wars on YouTube. These guys are aces in picking winners of Raw and Nitro each week. So tune in every Monday night at 5 p.m. Trevor Shelby, Thomas Kennedy, and are my biggest fans, bro. That's huge to me. That means a lot to me, so thank you for that. And I know you're gonna love their show, so check it out. Remember, TNT, Monday Night Wars, YouTube, Buff Daddy out.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Week 10 of the Monday Night Wars. This week we watched the November 6, 1995 WWE Raw and WCW Nitro. If you would like to follow along, check out these episodes on the WWE Network. We are your hosts, the Legion of Gloom, Trevor Shelby, and Thomas Kennedy!
Woo! I did that woo just in case, Ric Flair's watching.
Oh,
I did tag him.
Yes. Yes, we're going to tag people, and they're going to watch our show. They're going to do it. It's going to happen.
Hopefully, we just got to watch what we say. We don't want them to kick our ass.
Yeah, I think he'd still do it, too.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So, Tom, how's your week been?
Well, I mean, it's Monday. It just started, and it's busy as hell at work.
Well, how was your weekend, then? Anything
It was
exciting?
good. I didn't do anything exciting. I watched the new Terminator movie,
Very
which
good.
was
I
good.
did, too. Yay.
I'm glad that James Cameron came back to do this movie
Yeah, me too.
and did away with all the bad Terminator movies.
Yeah, I highly appreciated that movie. I really enjoyed it. I really feel that it really kind of like brought back the old, Terminator for me. All the new movies I've never liked. Anything past 2. I know a lot of people don't even like 2, but I enjoyed
How
it.
can you not like 2?
I don't know. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like that. Whatever. So
2's amazing.
yeah, I enjoy it. So yeah, I've had an interesting week of sick cats at my house. I've been a cat doctor, so that's been fun. I don't know if you guys know how to take a cat's temperature, but it's with their butt, and it's not cool. So yeah. So that's been my day. My cat is quite traumatized right now. So she does not want to do anything around me. So, but so this week we watched the November 6, 1995 WWE Raw and WCW Nitro. I know that we've been adding things. We're trying new things for the show, and give or take a week from here, we've had some birthdays go on.
Yeah.
That's from
Birthdays
wrestlers
and
around
deaths.
this.
I decided that I'm going to add deaths to it too, because the thing I was looking at had deaths.
Okay.
So, but we're not going to do the week that we're actually reviewing. We're going to do like starting from Monday to Sunday.
Okay.
So like today is Billy Gunn's birthday. He was born on Veterans Day, 1963. So that makes him almost 60.
Happy birthday, Mr. Gunn.
Eddie Guerrero passed away November 12th, 2005. So we're coming up on his 15th year.
Wow.
Next year.
Been that
of being
long?
gone. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and he's a big deal in this time frame.
Yeah.
Also, the late great Randy Savage, his birthday is 11/15 of 52.
Oh wow.
So he's working on 70 if he was still alive.
Yeah.
And the father of the Hart Foundation, Stu Hart, passed away November 16th of 2003.
Oh man, what a legend though. What a legend.
Yeah, he was. He trained some awesome wrestlers too.
Yeah, he did. So this week on WWE Raw, we had a pretty interesting show. No Jerry Lawler at the commentator booth. We had
So there's no drinking on that part today.
yeah, we had Doc Hendricks take his place. He sat with Vince, and I think he did a wonderful job. It was quite refreshing not having the king to talk over everybody.
He did. He did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that it was nice, not hearing, everyone's a cheater,
Yeah.
you
And yeah, he's not a fan of Jerry the King Lawler, so it's kind of funny watching him. So it was, or listening to some of the things that he threw in there. It was a lot of fun. The first match in this show was the British Bulldog versus Marty Jannetty, which really, to me, is power versus speed. And at this time, Jannetty is so over with the crowd. I'm just baffled at how he screwed up. So I don't understand. Like, man, he is so over with the crowd. They love him. He comes out there. It's like Shawn Michaels coming out. But
it's amazing. I mean, everyone, wants him to win. I mean, it's not like he goes out there and he's a heel. I mean, he is a babyface, and people love him.
Yeah. And who was it? I think the attorney. They were talking about how the attorney announced that the Bulldog, he's going to face the winner of Brett and Diesel at In Your House in December. He showed up on the Titantron, I think, or the split screen or something during the match, and so throughout this match, Marty really tried to use his speed to beat the Bulldog, but it seemed like every time the Bulldog got a hold of Marty Jannetty, he would just destroy him. I mean, slams. It was bad.
I mean, it was a great match. Though.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it was fun.
It was. The only time it slowed was whenever the Bulldog got the upper hand, and that's the only time it slowed because he's a slow worker. He likes to just take his opponents apart.
Right.
And Marty Jannetty likes to take things fast. So the only time it actually went slow, and it was whenever the Bulldog had it, and he would slow the pace down and just tear him apart.
Yeah.
But Jannetty would come back and just start working his magic.
Right.
Basically,
and it's not to say that the slower pace is inherently worse, because the moves that Bulldog was doing was actually pretty cool power moves that Jannetty couldn't pull off against the Bulldog, really. Bulldog ends up winning this one with a power slam. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. Probably one of the better matches of Raw tonight. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 just for the sheer, it had an ending. It was great. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
It was. I really enjoyed it. I mean, this is going to get a pretty high ranking from me. So,
What are you going to give it?
I don't know. What are you going to give it?
Oh, I just said. I said I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
No, you didn't. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, no, I totally did.
Um, I'm gonna a. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7 because I
Okay.
really did enjoy the match, and
All right.
it it really, it was really what these matches, need to be in order to win me over, or just make it a good match. It doesn't have to be fast, it doesn't have to be slow, but keep me into it.
Right.
And this kept me into the match.
Very cool. Well, so 7 points from the Tomster, I see. So very good. We don't give that many sevens, but I really enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. Um, After the match, Doc interviews the Bulldog and Cornette. He Let's see. Cornette threatens HBK not to turn on the Bulldog because they've got that match at like Survivor Series,
Right, series,
and
yeah. With that
um,
weird team.
yeah, with the weird teams. And then after that, they announce Bam Bam Bigelow versus Goldust at Survivor Series. Bam Bam has apparently challenged Goldust over on Saturday night main event or whatever, Saturday Sunday night heat or whatever it's. I don't know what the show's called at this time, honestly.
Well, they had
Their
both.
weekend show.
They had both at that time, so
Yeah. So, but yeah, now Bam Bam versus Goldust, that ain't gonna be too bad. And
it amazes me. They had more shows back then, but there's more wrestling now.
yeah, it's odd. Um, some of these storylines are a little silly at this era, but I'm enjoying it though.
A
So
little bit.
yeah, the next match that we have is Henry Godwin versus I guess is Terry Richards is what I got. I believe it's the guy that I didn't get his name last time because he's wearing the same red leotard. Unless they just hand those out like you're gonna be the guy getting squashed today. Here's your red leotard. So, um, this match it was a little silly. Um, I enjoyed it though. With Henry Godwin, someone's getting slopped. He brings out that
Yeah,
slop bucket. Um,
yeah. I mean, the guy he's wrestling kind of looks like a young, uh, I can't think of his name right now. Rhino.
oh yeah, yeah.
He
He
kind
kind of does.
he
He's
kind
kind
of
of
looks like
shaped like Rhino.
a young Rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've nicknamed him the Red Rocket. I think they've really missed out on the Red Rocket name. So,
Oh, jeez.
uh, so
Red Rocket.
yeah. So Godwin wins this one with a move called the Slop Drop, and then he's immediately attacked by Triple H. So he won the match and then got attacked. I think
Which is a drink.
that's a drink. And guess what? Today I have brought my drink. so so today that is
Oh,
a
gee.
drink.
You actually brought a Coors.
Yeah. So we got the slop drop. He won. Triple H attacks. He's Hunter Hearst Helmsley at this time with his gimmick, and that he slops Henry Godwin, which is kind of he's had it coming. He slopped Triple H and the $1 Million Man off and on these past few weeks, so he's kind of had this coming. But overall, this match, it was pretty obvious what was going to happen. It was pretty obvious that the Red Rocket was not going to win today, although, as much as we cheer for him. I went ahead and gave this a 3 out of 10.
Um, I thought that the match was okay. both wrestlers were really stiff in this. I don't know if it's just because the Red Rocket, as you like to call him, was because he was a newbie, a jobber, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I think 2.5.
2.5. Okay. Not
Yeah.
bad. It's completely justified. This match didn't do anything for either wrestler to me. I dislike these jobber matches because
Yeah.
you just destroy one guy and he's a no-name person that I don't care if Henry Godwin beat him. Now, if he was fighting, Triple H or, uh, I don't care. It's anyone who we know their name. I'm not calling him the Red Rocket. But anyways,
You are calling him the Red Rocket.
I know. So after this, we had a look up at a new match at Survivor Series, which is going to be Team Darkside versus Team Royalty, I think they called it. I don't
The
have it written
Royals.
down. The Royalty
I
versus...
believe it was the Royals.
Yeah. So Undertaker's going to face Mabel, and Undertaker's team's going to
King
have...
Mabel.
Yeah, King Mabel. Yeah, there we go. And the Undertaker's going to have Fatu, Henry Godwin, and what is his name? Savio Vega. I did write that down. And then we have King Mabel with Jerry the King Lawler, Triple H, and the guy they said puts crowns on, Kane,
The Royal
Dr.
Dentist.
Isaac Yankum.
DDS.
DDS. Well, and this is an interesting match, but I don't quite understand it. I guess this goes back to the crushing the face of the Undertaker. But you would think if it's that, then you would almost think that it'd be Yokozuna in this match and not King Mabel. But,
Well, it wouldn't, but you need to keep with the royal thing,
right.
Dr. Isaac Yankum, crown, teeth.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. That was pretty good. That's pretty clever the way they put that together.
Yeah. It was a stretch, but
Right. Now, I will say this match that's coming up next, with the $1 Million Man, I don't know who he fought because they did not talk about this match at all.
No, they used this match to call Shawn
They
Michaels.
called Shawn Michaels, and I could have cared less what they were talking about. I'm watching Kama, and he's knocking the snot out of this dude. I mean, it is one-sided. He just destroys this guy. They don't even address what's going on. He even pins the guy and wins the match, and they're like, "Oh, I guess he won." And then Doc Hendricks is like, "You didn't let me talk to Shawn Michaels." So that's my Doc Hendricks impersonation.
That's something that they do this time, in this time period that they don't do anymore, which I'm glad they don't.
Yeah.
Is they use jobber matches to do other on-screen interviews.
Yeah, this
And
jobber
now,
match was
now
this
even
complete...
if it's a jobber match, they'll play through it and then go to the backstage.
Right. You know what would have been great? Double length match than what this one and the last one was, and you put Kama, you know where I'm going with this, versus Henry Godwin, and then you just make the match double long. And then they could have interviewed Shawn Michaels all they wanted, but they'd have two guys that actually know who they are in the ring, not one guy and one obvious dude that's going to lose. I did get a pretty good shot of their deal of the week, which I thought was hilarious. I even called you on this because I thought it was so funny.
You did.
It was they were offering 1,000 pogs for
like $20.
$20, yeah. And there's like 2 cents a pog or whatever. I don't know. That is awesome. that's a great deal even now, man. You can't buy that, and you get 2 slammers with it,
Of
too.
course, if you can find, mint still in the bag, you can
Yeah.
only imagine how much that is now.
Yeah. Now, I will like to point out, you can't see it on this screen. You can't hardly see it. But right there by his middle finger, when you look at it the way he's got his hand out where his middle finger is, it's pointing at a pog, and that pog has Lex Luger on it. So I thought that was hilarious.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's Lex right there.
Did you zoom in on that?
I didn't zoom in on it. I didn't zoom. But yeah, if you watch the episode, you'll see it plain as day. This is a screenshot, doesn't do it justice.
I watched it and I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, I noticed it and I was like, what? It's totally him. But this is still that time frame. We're 10 weeks removed of him jumping ship. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
we got 4 weeks left of 1995.
Yep, we sure do, and we'll be starting a new drinking game and everything then. So that'll be fun.
How many weeks I say?
Yeah, I don't know, some
8 weeks.
8
It's
weeks.
8 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So, anyways, the comma match. To me, the announcers killed it for me, and it was one-sided as heck. I didn't enjoy it at all. I gave it a 2.5 out of 10.
I gave it a 2.
A 2?
Just because I didn't know one of the wrestlers, and
Yep.
it was just a filler match so they could talk to Shawn Michaels.
Right.
And I didn't pay much attention to the match, after they called him Shawn Michaels, which is a bunch of crap because, this is a wrestling show.
Yeah.
It's not a call your big star because he's off because he got into a fight with 7 people.
Right. And you know what's funny is, and I'll kind of go off subject here for just a second, if you'll allow it. I was listening to the podcast a while back where they interviewed Sunny about her affair with Shawn Michaels. And this is like the time frame. Right now is the affair that happens with Shawn Michaels. And she had even said, what she said was she disappears off TV for a few weeks with Shawn Michaels, who disappears off TV for a few weeks. And they go to Hawaii and hang out together. I thought it was kind of funny that she's been gone, he's been gone. It's like, at first I didn't know if I believed her or not. Now I'm kind of like, it's true. She was on
Now
TV every week and now she's gone.
4 weeks.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But anyways, that's just a little tidbit. So maybe when they were talking to Shawn, she was in the next room over. Who knows?
It was during this is during the Bill Clinton years. So,
Exactly.
Could be somewhere else.
Yeah. Who was on this show? Did you see that segment? Bill Clinton? Was that Bill Clinton or was that an impersonator?
That was it was an impersonation of Bill Clinton.
Was it? Okay. I was like, what
Yeah.
the heck? That dude is good. I really thought it was Bill Clinton.
No, that wasn't Bill Clinton. That was an impersonation.
Okay. I was like, wow. Yeah, because he was like, I support anybody. You do it better than I do. But anyways, so.
I would support anyone. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
There you go.
If you believe that, then Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh. So. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I'm at here. Jerry the King Lawler
I'm sorry,
and Dr. Isaac Yankem is next. They're fighting Bret the Hitman Hart and Hakushi. And so
this match, this match is one-sided.
yeah.
All right.
Well,
I mean,
yeah. So before that match started, the real main event started, which is Billy and Bart fought in Karate Fighters. We missed the match last week. I missed it completely. So we'll call the shots pretty well here. I
Yeah.
will reenact some of the moves. It was a lot like this. And like this. They move their fists up and down. And then Bart's fell
Their
off
legs
his
go
little
flying,
podium
too.
and died. And so Billy Gunn won. So that match, I'm going to give it an 11 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 15
15?
out of 16
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
because because I would have really liked to have seen Bart win, you
Oh,
know,
wow.
just because he was, he had the match won, and then, Billy cheated or
He
something.
cheated. I saw him pull out brass knucks. He pulled a little Ric Flair move
He
there.
did.
So, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that was interesting. So, apparently my slideshow messes up. Anyways, so this will be the last one for Raw, slideshow wise. We got Jerry the King Lawler versus Bret Hart and Hakushi. That was, Bret Hart and Hakushi, for not tagging together, they had a pretty decent chemistry.
Yeah, they did. I enjoyed that. They were tagging in and out when they could.
Yeah.
But then again, there were ref involvement,
Right.
which,
Yeah.
I think there was some collusion on the part of the King and Isaac Yankem
Yeah.
on their part, because the amount of time that they were spent looking at Brett's team,
Yeah.
kind of, I was like, really, really, look at this double team behind you.
Right.
Yeah, and the way the match ended, I think it should have ended before then, whenever they did catch them.
Right.
But,
Well, some of the notes I took on here was Jared the King Lawler has a mullet, LOL. And
oh yeah, it does. It's Mike Gundy.
yeah,
Mullet.
it's bad. And also the chair that was brought into this match was not a folding chair. It was like
No.
a plastic school chair, like you'd see at a table or something. It's hilarious.
Like, where did he get that?
I don't know. He just pulled that out of nowhere. That's the first and only time I've ever seen that kind of chair brought into a wrestling match. And
I know.
what was it? Barry Windham tried to take the chair away from him, but when he did, the referee thought he was trying to use the chair against Jerry the King Lawler. So they got disqualified. He disqualified Bret Hart and Hakushi. This match wasn't bad. It had a stupid finish.
It did have a stupid finish, and he didn't even hit him, so
Yeah.
it shouldn't have even been
Yeah,
disqualified.
the referee, if it was now, the referee would have ran up, taken the chair from him, and threw him out of the arena.
Yeah,
It's just kind of silly, but
which is where the collusion happens.
they're colluding with the ref, you think?
Yes.
Okay, well, anyways, I didn't think this match was bad. It was interesting seeing Jerry the King Lawler wrestle at this point in time. So I don't know. I enjoyed it, except for the ending. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 4 because I didn't really like where it went.
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean,
These
the wrestling was
non-finishes
okay.
suck.
Yeah. So, yeah, a 4.
Okay. Well, let's move on to WCW Monday Nitro. I really was surprised about this episode because they did something on this episode that they didn't really even they didn't mention it last week. They didn't say anything about having this call-in thing. So they did they did a
viewer's choice.
viewers choice match at the end. So the main event was going to be you call in and you select who you want to watch wrestle, and I thought it was a pretty brilliant move at this time because I thought it was really innovative when WWE came up with they called it Cyber Sunday or something like that. Whenever the pay-per-view where you would go on and you would select what you wanted stipulations in matches or who to fight who and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Well, this was kind of like
And
that.
they did that kind of on Raw, when they would say, who would you votes for now for who gets to wrestle so and so. They did that
Yeah.
a few years ago. So
So Steve McMichael dressed up Pepe, Tom's favorite Chihuahua, as a clown, and he said that it's because it represents, all these clowns around here, like Kevin Sullivan. So,
Kevin Sullivan.
yeah.
Oh, where did my picture go?
No, it's back. So the fans get to call the shots. We've got 2 locker rooms. The red locker room, which has Ric Flair, Ming, Diamond Dallas Page, the Blue Bloods, Big Bubba, Shark, and Scott Norton. That's the red locker room. So when you call in, you get to choose one of those guys to be in the main event. And then for the blue locker room, we've got Sting, Johnny B. Bad, Hacksaw, Jim Duggan, Dave Sullivan, Alex Wright, the Nasty Boys, and Mr. JL. So
between Nature Boy and Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the backstage promos, I don't think anyone else noticed anyone else.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even know how they knew that Sting was in the blue locker room.
I know. Hacksaw kept walking in front of the camera, and I've actually got a really good screenshot of it. It's really funny. So the very first match that we've got here is a guy named Cobra versus the Giant. And I've got to say, this Cobra guy looks pretty good. He looks like he'd be a formidable foe for the Giants.
At first.
Yeah. Yeah. So this week is like squash week is what it is. So on the screenshot that I have right now is the Giants' one and only move that is performed during this match, which is
the only move that was performed, period.
Yeah, I know. The only move. And it's the choke slam. The Giant wins 1, 2, 3. It was that quick. We've talked about this longer than this match actually went on, which I thought it was awful. I gave it a 1.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give it I don't know. I'll give it a 1.5 as well.
There you go. I like my screenshot I have here. It's Jimmy Hart and the Giant celebrating. That right there is hilarious.
It's saying that the title is his. The title is the Giants.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be a title match.
Right, yeah, they announced that it was a title match. That was pretty short defense there. So after this match, they immediately don't even talk about it. They move from here to locker rooms. We're back to voting. So here's Mean Gene in the red locker room, and you've got Scott Norton and the Shark over there about to have their own wrestling match. You've got Big Bubba and all them. Flair's over there in the corner. They're all just like milling about. And then we've got the blue locker room. And Tony Schiavone is back there trying to do an interview, and there is Hacksaw Jim Duggan in front of all of them, looking goofy as hell.
He's just walking back and forth.
I know. It's so funny. Oh, God, it killed
and
me.
yelling stuff. I don't know what he was yelling.
Yeah. The Nasty Boys at one point got the microphone, and they started shouting something, and Tony took it from them and was like, and now back to you guys. And I was like, wow, they just cut them off. Yeah, it's really worth, if you haven't watched this episode, it's really worth just checking these out, these little segments out. They are like pretty good contenders for some bad interviews.
I don't know how promos went for, have developed over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gone from mediocre to really good about the mid, right when the Attitude Era really gets going.
Yeah.
So now they're kind of mediocre and almost getting, and getting better again.
Right. So, the next thing we have is Hulk Hogan and Macho Man hanging out with the homeless, it looks like. And I really don't understand this whole segment. Hogan...
Well, I mean, did you listen to the homeless dude? He's like,
yeah.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
At one point, at the end of it, it was like, I've heard that before. I was like, what the heck? He's just like, and they're like, I guess I don't know what he is. He is like, now that we've got this guy, and I was like, they replaced Jimmy Hart with this guy apparently. And so it was ridiculous.
They should really replace him with the guitar player that they showed at the end of it.
Oh yeah. No, I got a good picture of the guitar player as well. So the guitar player has a bullseye guitar, a big giant hat, and he's got rollerblades on. I think they just went to the beach and grabbed anybody that wanted to be on WCW. They were like, hey, you want to be on TV show?
Just anyone who wanted to be on TV in general. Yeah.
So, yeah, these guys got picked. I don't know how. I don't know where they were going with this. It was very comical, though. The next actual match that we have is Kevin Sullivan with Jimmy Hart versus the Renegade, who I think is, like, we've talked about him before. He's very much an Ultimate Warrior clone. He's just high energy. Yeah. He's got the face paint, and he's wearing kind of Hogan's colors, and so he's out there just kind of.
He's actually probably the original Ultimate Warrior. Where the.
Oh no!
There's that conspiracy theory.
Yeah, this guy's got too much of a baby face, but. Yeah, no. He doesn't even... He just runs to the ring, starts knocking Kevin Sullivan around. He throws him. He tosses him out of the ring. The crowd actually responds to it. They're cheering on the Renegade, He's kind of getting over with the crowd. It was kind of fun. This match did have a... kind of an odd some odd segments where Kevin Sullivan was fighting when he was fighting the Renegade, and he was beating the Renegade because they looked so opposite. I just was a little perplexed for some of that. Kevin Sullivan picked up this win with a double leg stomp from the second rope. It was very I think there's some wrestlers today that do the double leg stomp from like the top rope, and so this is kind of before its time. I think like you don't see a lot of that kind of maneuver during this era, but I didn't enjoy this match. It wasn't that fun to me. Kevin Sullivan winning this was kind of ridiculous, I think, so I went ahead and gave it a 3.5 out of 10.
I just went ahead and gave it a 3 because it wasn't that interesting.
Right.
The next match, you would think that they would use something great to get to the next match because the next match was really great.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't.
Right.
And it. I don't know. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, I understand that too. It's just not my cup of tea match. I do like Kevin Sullivan, and I actually like the Renegade. I just kind of disappointed that this match was kind of blah. So, but oh yeah, and I forgot to mention after the match they rubbed the R off the Renegade's face. I don't know why. At first when I saw it happen, at first when I saw them doing this, I thought they were like, like in the TV shows where they get like ether or whatever, and they're like putting somebody out. I thought they were like trying to kill him or something, but no, they.
That's what they do. They shave Hulk Hogan's mustache.
Yeah.
They do something to humiliate their targets.
Right. Well, and I can understand that slightly. So the next match of the night we have Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero, and I believe this is the second time these two have actually faced each other.
The second time in singles.
In singles matches, yeah. I thought it wasn't that bad.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, they're still bringing in moves that they can't, that the announcers can't even are naming right on the spot.
Right. They really struggle with some of those names.
We take that for granted right now because these are staple moves now, but these were not at that time.
Right. Well, they do mention they're building the cruiserweight division and the championship right now, so they're going to have some more info on that before soon, I guess. See. One of my main notes with this was if you watch the first match and compare it to the second one, I kind of feel like this was a little slower pace, and I don't know if it's because if there's a reason for that, or if it's just because they wanted to I don't know, showcase their moves a little better. Maybe move a little differently. I'm not sure. What do you think? Did you notice any slower pace or?
Sorry, I'm coughing in it.
Sorry, I had to momentarily fix my slideshow while I was talking.
I think it was a slower match, but it was still hard hitting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chris Benoit.
And I mean, I think that they're just showing that they don't have to move fast to have a great match. It's like I said, earlier that, it is whatever it takes to keep the audience engaged.
Right.
And they had seen 2 really fast matches already.
Yeah. We had the tag one, and then we've had their singles match.
Yeah. Well, no, tonight on
oh,
that show.
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So they needed to slow down their pace just to keep it, the show at the right length, and because otherwise this match, if they were going at normal speed, would have taken like 2 minutes.
Yeah. As it was, it went on for quite a while. It
went on through 2 commercial breaks.
Yeah, it was a fun match. I don't know if maybe slowing their pace down from since the first match, I don't know if that was intended or not, but I enjoyed it, I think, a little bit more because they told, I think, a better story in this match. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed their first match, and I really enjoyed their second match. You can't go wrong putting these two guys in the ring together. There's only one time that the last time they had a tag team match, it was kind of, it's kind of iffy. But this
Yeah.
time, I really enjoyed it. I went ahead and gave this a 7.5 out of 10.
Um, yeah, wow. Two two scores above 7 tonight
Yep.
so far. Um, I went ahead and gave it a 7 because, you know, I I felt something was missing. I mean, it was all there. It was a great match, but there was something missing that I can't put my finger on.
Yeah.
Um, but something was missing, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.
Okay. The um it was after this match we learned the winner of uh the I guess the choice match. Oh, and I might mention this actually reminds me. Eddie Guerrero did win this match, and he won it kind of oddly where Chris Benoit had his foot on the ropes. So the referee didn't notice. So I imagine we'll see him.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Is because the ref blatantly was looking at that foot and still counting him
Yeah.
out.
So we'll see an Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit 3. I have the feeling that's going to happen. Number 3 is going to happen. So, but anyways, so we're down to the wire. Everyone's, it's your, they keep telling everybody it's your last seconds to put in your vote. And so we get Sting versus none other than Ric Flair, which honestly, like, these two, like, I do like their matches. Yeah, I like their matches. I wish they'd had more of the red team of maybe some of the Dungeon of Doom folk in there.
I wish there would have been like Diamond Dallas Page and maybe
Right.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Or have a
Because,
rematch
I mean,
with Mark Marrow, whatever his name is over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, because we've seen, of course, Ric Flair is a weekly staple in the show. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we haven't seen much of DDP, and he's a damn good wrestler.
Right.
You know?
Well, so
And
not,
I didn't get it. They didn't count my vote.
yeah, they didn't count it. I called and they wouldn't take it. But anyways, so, but that's not saying that this match is bad. This match was actually pretty good. It went long, and I think they're trying to just wrap up this storyline with Sting and Ric Flair, and
I don't know. The
kinda,
way it ended, I have a
yeah.
feeling it is not over yet.
Yeah. So, with Ric Flair, it's, you have a typical Ric Flair match where he marches around. He hit Sting with some, look like brass knucks or something, and tucked them in his pants and tried to cheat. But Sting hulked up and then started taking them out and all that, and started, getting back at Flair. At one point, Flair gets Sting in the figure 4, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
Sting reversed it.
Yeah, Sting reversed it. Was gonna attempt to get it into the Scorpion Deathlock, but that didn't happen. I will say that I don't know. Ric Flair and Sting, they go back to I think it's like '89 when Sting beat Flair for the first time for the WCW World Championship. So, these guys are obviously, they work well together. You're not going to have a bad match here, but it's also kind of stale. So,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm going to save my score for what happens after the match. So, Sting gets Flair into the deathlock. Flair taps. Match is over. Sting does not celebrate. He just sits there with the deathlock still attached. Will not let go. Nobody can get him to let go.
They got the entire blue locker room out there.
The blue locker room comes out. It's finally
Plus Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. It's finally, I think it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan that gets him up the first time. And then Sting turns right back around and he goes back after Flair. And then none other than Lex Luger comes out. And he whispers or he says something to Sting. And then Sting lets go. And then they walk away together. So,
and I just want to know what he said.
Yeah, that's a good question. Because now it kind of looks like, Sting and Lex are friends, and I can understand that. But Lex also just torture racked Hogan and Macho Man, your two teammates. So, yeah. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't know if he can't quit him or what. I don't know.
Well, I mean, all I know is that something's going on because I want to know what he said.
Yeah. Then after that match, nothing's explained. Jimmy Hart is interviewed, and he goes on this whole rant about how he's the power of attorney. He has the power of attorney, and he signs all the matches for Hogan. And he signed a stipulation into the last contract match against the Giant, where if he lost by disqualification, the title would change hands. And they got an attorney from WCW into the ring who said the title committee, or whatever he called them, or championship committee, they have determined that nobody is the champion, and the championship will be decided at War Games. So,
with the 60-man 3-ring battle royal.
Yeah, you forgot the 3 giants. There's gonna be 3 giants. You better bet the Yete's gonna be one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who the other.
I'm kind of surprised the Yeti didn't make an appearance.
I know. Well, he would have, but he had to talk to his mummy.
No, Trevor.
Anyways.
No.
Oh. Anyways.
No puns like that, please.
So, they stripped the title from the Giant. Kevin Sullivan took it off of him, gave it to the attorney. And so, I guess we're looking at War Games as the big deciding factor of who wins this title.
Since there's no champion at the moment, it's been vacated.
Right.
It should make the that pay-per-view a little bit more interesting, considering it was just for a chance at the title. Now it is for the title.
Yeah. Well,
who knows who come up with it?
Mm-hmm. So, I'm just now realizing. I think we skipped over the Flair and Sting scores. and I gave Flair and Sting a good 6 out of 10.
You waited till afterwards just to give them
Yeah.
a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I forgot. I included all the hullabaloo at the end there.
Just because I'm bored with it, with this,
Oh no.
with Sting and Flair thing, I'm giving it a 5.5.
5.5. I can understand that. That's probably where I should have been, but
I mean, for the past 8 weeks, it's been Flair Sting,
yeah.
Flair Sting.
Mm-hmm. Or they're
Yeah.
teaming together and then turning on one another.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah. So to remind everybody, we're not adding anything, but we are going to remind everybody the drinking game. The 1995 Monday Night Wars drinking game is when anybody says, this is where the big boys play, you take a drink. Which I don't think I heard once during this show. So maybe
I heard it once.
Did
but
you?
it
Okay.
was- yeah.
Anytime Jerry Lawler talks over a promo, we didn't see that at all because Jerry Lawler wasn't even talking. Anytime a match ends, but the winner is attacked immediately after winning, we saw that. Anytime Vince awkwardly dances in commentary to Shawn Michaels music. Anytime Bobby the Brain Heenan puts down Steve's dog Pepe, which he's actually done a pretty good job abstaining from saying anything about the dog. He just pretends he's not even there. And then anytime a match starts during a commercial break, I was pissed off that day. I was mad. Why start a match while there's a commercial break? That's stupid. Anytime Disco Inferno comes out to dance but does not have a match. And anytime an ally turns on a friend during a match. That was last week's edition. So we might add something next week. Maybe something might catch our eye that we've seen one too many times. But these non-finishes, we can't add that. You'd die. So
Yeah, we can't add Ric Flair's woo. Or,
yeah,
or
oh my
his
god.
strut.
Yeah. We should add anytime Ric Flair wrestles Sting. That should be next week's. So right now,
And watch that be the last one.
yeah. Right now, Thomas has Raw with 3.5 points. He's got Nitro with 4.5 points, and he gave the dog show, for whatever damn reason, a point. So I have Raw with 4 points and Nitro with 5 points. Tom, I'm going to let you start this week. Who do you give the win to?
I give the win to Raw.
You give it to Raw. Okay.
Yeah, just because it was a little. It kept my attention more, and I've been ADD lately, so
Okay.
anything that catches that keeps my attention, will get the win.
Okay. Well, I will say that for the same reasons but opposite show, I'm giving Nitro the win. Nitro went a little innovative this week. I enjoyed it. They should do a lot more of that. If they keep doing that, that show will never end. I'm sure it'll keep going. I'm sure it's still on the air. Anyways.
Right.
But yeah, no, I actually enjoyed it. I like this whole storyline with Hogan and the Giant and War Games is building up. I'm actually enjoying that. So I'm actually interested. Raw, I'm kind of back and forth on it. I am interested in seeing who's going to win with Brett and Diesel, and then beyond that, who the Bulldog is going to face. So that's, I could see both shows, but this one week, I'm giving it the Nitro. So you've got a back tied up.
It to Nitro. You've given it to Nitro 6 times. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're a little biased.
Not
towards
biased.
Nitro.
Not biased at all. No.
I mean, we've got 10 shows, and Nitro is winning by 2.
Well, yeah, but that's only 2. That's not that many.
Yeah, I think you got a little
Dude,
bit biased.
dude,
Going.
just wait till we hit 1999 and Raw is up like 100 freaking points. So, so, anyways, I would
All
like
right.
to thank you guys for putting up with us. We did have a few viewers, more than usual actually, so I do thank you guys for watching us. We are trying to work on putting out more content, more interactive. Like our Facebook page, we're putting out, we're doing everything from histories to we're trying to do some conversations with birthdays and all that stuff. So like our Facebook page, the link will be down there in the description. And see, we did the November 6th edition of Raw. So this week, or this week, if you want to keep up with us, we're going to be, for next week, we're going to be reviewing the November 13th edition of Raw and Nitro. So if you watch those, then watch our show, then you'll be kind of kept up and you'll know exactly what's going on. If you have any questions, you guys can throw it in chat anytime. If you actually subscribe, it'll show up on the screen during the show. So that's cool too. I highly encourage people to do that. So, you got anything you want to add, Tom?
No, it's just that if you follow any of the wrestlers of this time frame, feel free to tag them in our down below in the comments or on our Facebook page.
Awesome.
We'd love to have them watch, and see if we're doing this correctly, and if they want to kick our ass or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, Tom's taking on all contenders. So, anyways.
No, I'm not. I just know that that will piss off someone.
Yeah, we will at some point. At some point, we're like, we give that a 1 out of 10, and that guy is gonna be like, "Hey, open your door. I got to talk to you."
I got a package for Thomas. Package.
Anyway,
from who? Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm not rating any of his matches low. Anyways, all right, guys. I will see you guys next week. Tom will see you guys next week. Keep tuned and like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys.
Keep watching. I mean, there's only 3 of y'all watching that I know of, so.
Woo!